According to Forbes advisor, basic incompatibility and money issues are among the top reasons for divorce. Hello guys, welcome back to another video. If you are new today, this is Life, Love and Faith. We talk everything about life. We talk about love and how to love God, how to love your family, how to live a good life. So if that sounds like something you're interested, then you are at the right place. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that whenever we have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. And don't forget to turn on your notification bell. Today we are going to be talking about finances in marriage or relationships. Before we go in, I just want to tell you guys about these statistics. Okay, according to Forbes advisor, basic incompatibility and money issues are among the top reasons for divorce. 38% report financial problems as a divorce cause. If you ask me, that's high.
The first thing we're going to talk about today is, are you supposed to disclose your financial status, your credit score, your debt, the bank account you own, your investments, and everything? Should that be something that should be disclosed? Each partner should put on the table and say, oh, this is what debt I have, this is what I own. Is that something that should be disclosed? What do you think?
Okay, so I think that that's definitely something that should be disclosed, especially if you live in the United States. Why? Because once you're married, you guys are considered as one entity. You're now financially responsible for each other. If the state were to come and take the house, it's not going to say, I'm taking the husband's house. It's going to be both of you guys. So whatever you guys are doing is now seen as one when it comes to like finances. So I think definitely that's something you should disclose to someone and let them make that decision to say if they want to come into a marriage with you with the amount of debt you owe, or is that something that you guys are going to plan to like help each other pay off or something. I think definitely should be revealed.
So when you say if that's something they want to come into, so would you say because of debt, some people should not get married?
I think that it depends on the level of commitment. When you're talking about this country, there are people that will break up because of that.
Would you now say that money issues trump love?
To some people, that might be a deal breaker, especially for maybe someone that has no debt. They are clean, and then they are about to marry someone with a workload of maybe school loans or credit card loans, and knowing that they're about to merge their finances, they might not want to get into that. So
your position is don't get married if the debt is too much, but I think it's a personal...
That's not my position. I'm just saying that some people might see that as a deal breaker. I didn't say I see that as a deal breaker.
So what do you see that as? What is your position on, let's say you're advising somebody that wants to get married and they have $100,000 in debt and they're truly in love. What would be your position?
I would say they should come up with a plan. If you really love each other, then you should come up with a plan on what you guys want to do in the future. Are you guys going to merge your finances and work on paying off this loan? Are you going to help them pay off this loan? You have to decide together and come up with a plan on what you're going to do. If you really love the person, I don't think it should be something that you should walk away from, but I think you should at least know and plan towards it.
Yeah, I think it would be necessary for things like that, especially when it has to do with big debt. It has to be disclosed because you want to know what you're getting into. But I don't think that should be a deal breaker. It can be a deal breaker if that person has debt, because some debt can show that somebody is financially irresponsible, right? So if somebody shows that they're financially irresponsible, I believe everybody should show credit history. Like I need to know what your credit score is. If your credit score is 400, then that's a problem. And if you're at an age that your credit score should not be 400, I need to know what's on that credit. And it all depends on how you do this, right? You're not going to be aggressive. Like, if I don't know your credit score, we're not getting married. Of course, you have a good way of putting this across, that, hey, let's have some financial disclosures. What is your student debt? What is your credit score? What are your credit card bills? What are we getting into? I think it's something that can affect, in the long run, it could cause
Discord.
loss of trust, and just making somebody think that you're not responsible. So I think upfront it should be disclosed, but I don't think it should be a deal breaker. For me, it could only be a deal breaker if your history, credit history, just shows that you're reckless.
So that would be a deal breaker for you?
Well, I mean, for me, it depends on what is on the history.
It's reckless, like credit card.
That's what I'm saying.
Stuff.
Reckless. You're just reckless.
So you wouldn't think of helping this person out?
There is difference between helping a person and a person wanting to be helped, right? Of course,
what if they say they want to be helped?
Then I have to decide if that's a job I want to get into. But if it shows a financial irresponsibility, owing $20,000 in different credit cards amounting to hundreds of thousands of dollars, you have to have an explanation what the money was for, right? What you were doing. But if it's just you just shopping and flying here and traveling, then living above your means, then that's gotta be tough. And then we gotta set rules in place. And so that's where sometimes people have prenups, right? Because they want to understand, like, okay, are you going to get up one day and wreck everything and decide to take the money and run? So, I mean, what do you guys think? You think people should have prenup? Do you think people should have prenups?
I don't like prenups. I just feel like that means you're planning for divorce. That's how I see prenup. Like, there's a potential that we might get divorced, so let me protect myself now. So why are we even getting married?
Well, I mean, of course, this, I don't know if I would look at it that way about the prenups. Prenup just means, all right, if you take me serious and I take you serious, let's protect ourselves. But again, if you want to love hard, you want to give everything to it, and you want to believe you'll be together forever, right? But in this day and age, sometimes it just doesn't happen like that. So there are people that prenups might be necessary for, again, in this situation of financial, fiscal irresponsibility, and then you just see too many red flags, then you might be protected with a prenup. If you still want to give the person a chance, and you be like, okay, I know you might be a little reckless, but I want to marry you, but let me protect myself a little bit. In that situation, I think it is necessary.
So, like, okay, right now you're very reckless with your finances, but I love you and I want to marry you, so I'm going to do prenup. But are we going to dissolve this prenup when I see that you're now more financial responsible?
Well, we're just going to do the prenup. I mean, the prenup doesn't only mean protecting the person that wants the prenup. The prenup means I'm protecting myself, but you have an opportunity to make negotiations on the prenup. It doesn't completely mean, well, I'm just going to protect myself and leave you leave you out to hang dry, right? It just means I'm going to protect myself, but these are the stipulations that you're going to be taken care of. So yeah, the other partner is still going to be covered in the prenup. But it just means everybody knows where they stand.
That prenup something. I don't.
Anyway, so in summary, in this disclosure, I think it's necessary to be disclosed. I don't think that it should be a deal breaker. If the person is financially reckless, then you might want to get a prenup, is what I would say. Or you might just want to let that person know, I think you're financially rough, but we can try with certain understanding that we're just trying this out.
Okay.
But now you're married, right? If past the first of trying to find out if they owe a lot of money, now you're actively married. How do you run your house? Do you have a joint account? Let's start from there. Should you have a joint account? Should you have each person have their own account? Should you just put all the money in one account and whatever happens, happens? What do you think?
I think it goes back to financial responsibility. Initially, you might not know what works for you, but then as you go in, as you build your marriage and see, okay, maybe you had separate accounts, because let's be honest, sometimes you come financially independent, you guys get married, so you already had your account set up, you had some bills that was already coming out of your account, and your numbers are established and everything. You don't want to disrupt that, so you might continue that way as long as you guys come up with how much do you guys have when it comes to bills monthly, and divide it up on who pays what. That might work. And then as your relationship grows and you transition, that might change based on what is happening in your family.
I think a lot of couples they do joint account is what I've seen, and that's basically saying let's put our money together and pay the bills from it, do our expenditures from it, and everything, and what is left is what is left.
I discovered something, that even as you get closer to God and He's trying to fix your life, right? He's interested in every aspect of your life, including your financial responsibility. Sometimes I have the urge of buying something, even though maybe that thing is not necessary, and I just buy it. I remember one time I wanted to buy something at the store, African store, you have to have $10. It has to be $10 to use the card. So, but the thing that I wanted to buy, I think it was $3 or something. There's a savings account that I had that is not far from the place that I wanted to buy. So I said, okay, I will just go there and take out the money from the ATM so I don't have to use my card. But as I'm going, I'm hearing this thing, you don't really need that thing. You shouldn't be buying that thing. I insisted. When I got there in front of that ATM with these two guys with two huge dogs, and I hate dogs, so I just turned around and left. And you just got up and said, you know what, I'm going to fix your finances. You need to be responsible for your I need to see your bills. Okay, you don't know that I had conversation with God.
Oh wow!
And I asked God to help me.
I'm the answer to your prayer to fix your finances.
So when I didn't say anything, you say, oh, I'm surprised you're not saying anything. You don't know that the help that I wanted came. So, and then you just took over and just figured the things that I was trying to figure out, because the thing was oh my God, he's gonna ask me about this, oh my God. But then God gave me that reason, okay, and it's better.
So the thing with the joint account is exactly what you're saying. If one person likes me, I barely spend money.
Rarely spend money.
I barely spend money. I spend money for things that are necessary. And if it's not necessary, I have a reward system, when money comes in, hey, we go out for dinner, but I can probably wear the same clothes. I don't remember the last time I shopped for clothes. The fact is they're just material things, and there are things that are more important. So I rarely spend money. So in that case, if you have somebody that is going to spend money and another person that's not going to spend a lot of money, so it can become a source of friction, because every time you're seeing money being spent and you're like, what did you do with this? What did you do with that? And that can actually become a source of conflict in the marriage. So now what about the future? Because some people, they live in the present, but they forget that there is a future to come, right? There is retirement. There is me personally. I don't want to work till I get old. I want to retire young. I want to be at home, and I don't like waking up to alarm clocks. So I want to wake up when I want to wake up, and just I want to live a life of cruise. My wife likes to call it soft life. I want to live soft life, so I don't want to wake up to an alarm clock. But that only comes with planning, with investments, with financial discipline. That's how you can achieve that. So two people together, you're both gonna get old. You're both at some point not gonna work, not gonna go to work. So what do you guys do for the future? How do you plan together and separately for the future?
I have no clue.
What do you mean you have no clue? Basically, like we're talking about retirement and the future. I believe it is very essential for couples. These are hard topics. These are very, very difficult topics. I believe it is very essential for couples to know where they're going. Do you have a retirement account? Do you have a 401k, 403b? Do you have an IRA, Roth IRA? Do you have trading accounts? What do you have? I believe if you don't plan for when you're not going to be able to work again or go to work or retire, then it's either bad for you or bad for the couple. Because guess what? Let's say you're 55 or 60, God forbid, and that couple, they break up, they're no longer together, right? And that's why I believe each person should understand what is happening with their finances for the future. Because at that point, if you're no longer together, guess what happens? You're on your own. You're alone. If you had 20,000 in your retirement, that's not going to be enough. So that person you kind of depended on, that all right, they gonna get me. They ain't getting you anymore. It's very scary, but it's real. These are the things that happen to people every day. You should have your 401k at work individually. Now we're talking about individually and as a couple. Individually, you should have your 401k at work. If you're working and your job is giving out 401ks, and you should have that. You should max it out. Number one, because you're going to get a match from your job, which is free. So you want to contribute to that. So if you have it, you need to get it. If the husband has it, they need to get it. The wife has it, they need to get it. Because those two things, you cannot do it as a couple. You can only do it individually. So that's where the individualization of it comes in. As a couple, you need to sit down and make a plan. What are you planning for the future? Like, what are we going to do? How much do we need to live comfortably when we're 60, right? And then you guys should start contributing to that. If it's making investments, real estate investments, IRAs, because you can contribute to 401k, but you can also contribute to IRAs. Whatever investment you want to make, that's where the couple needs to come together and like, this is what we are investing in. There is no perfect way to say that two people are going to make the same income. Either the man is going to make more income or the woman is going to make more income. But as long as whatever income level you're in, that you can maximize your contributions and maximize your investment equitably to each other. If one person makes $1, make sure that dollar works as much as possible. The other person makes $10, make sure that $10 works as much as possible. So that's a conversation that needs to happen. The future.
So I agree not that I don't agree, I agree that conversation should happen, and I definitely agree that you should know what's going on financially. It's not a good thing, but I don't know why I find investments and all those stuff, it sounds so boring. Like, it sounds like a burden. Like, it's like, why?
Well, I mean, when you're 60 and you need money, that's going to be more of a burden.
So that's something I'm going to have to work on. I'm trying to understand investments, stock markets, maybe in the next 1 year.
You don't really need to understand the nitty-gritty of it, but you just need the overall picture is your money needs to be working for you. You need to make sure you avail yourself of all the opportunity you have for your money to go a long way. You don't need to be sitting there and trading stocks, no. Yeah, if you do that, it'll be beautiful. But do you need to? You don't. But you at least need to understand, all right, I need this to retire. What more do I need to do? Do I need to save more? And really that's it.
Like how much is gonna hold you at the age of blah blah blah.
Yeah, I mean, there in a lot of the 401k or the IRA plans, they have the calculation for the amount you need to retire each month, each year, and you take your Social Security payments and add it to that. But the fact is, they're talking now that Social Security might not even be around by the time we retire, right? So what happens to that? All the money you've been paying to the system
But
might
the
go
Social
away.
Security is not your 401k.
No, Social Security is that's a form of government retirement, right? They take that out of your check every time, and at that time, 60, 65. I think earliest, I think probably 62 or 58, somewhere there. I might be wrong, but just don't quote me on the numbers, but somewhere there. But all the money you've been paying to the government, they start giving you Social Security check every month. But Social Security funds are slowly running out, and so what
So
happens?
why are they still getting the money out?
Because they believe they're gonna still keep it functioning. But if at some point they can't pay it anymore, then it's gonna be real. It's gonna be wild. If people that have paid in and they can't get money out, I don't know.
So I think in conclusion to this video, it's definitely being more financial responsible.
Yep.
Know your financial status. Disclose your financial status before getting into marriage, and then plan for your future when it comes to your financial retirement and stuff.
Yep. Make sure you take advantage of all resources and opportunity for you to grow financially, individually and together. That's the key word. Individually is to protect yourself individually for the long term, then together to make sure that you both are going to be happy together for the long term.
And all in all, don't forget to ask God. Always pray about everything, even any situation, basically, whether it's financial, whatever comes your way. Make sure that you take it up to God in prayer and see what He has to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, just pray and God might just answer you and have somebody fix your finances.
Until our next video, what are we going to talk about next time?
I guess we'll pray about it. And God will reveal.